Art has always meant so much more to me than pretty colors on a sheet of paper. Art gives me life. It is the very air that I breathe. It is the dreams that I dream. It makes me feel as though maybe I'm not as alone in the world as sometimes I think that I am. Because somewhere out there is someone putting all of their emotions onto a canvas the way I used to, the way I still want to do. Today on the Art Aquarium, I thought that I would start a new series in which I take some of my old paintings and redo them, breathe new life into them, digitally. Today's painting is one that's very special to me. It is called Ballerinas Have Fins That You'll Never Find, and if you're a Tori Amos fan, you'll recognize that lyric from her song Spark. I'm sure a lot of you are asking, DC, why don't you just repaint these old paintings of yours? And to that I say, I can't. Where I'm living currently, I do not have enough room to paint, and if I tried, I would just make a mess. And the reason why I want to redo them is because all of my paintings, almost all of them that I've ever done in my life, is stuck in storage that belongs to my two abusive exes, states away from me. And I'm not even sure if they still exist. They could have been burned. My pagan ex-high priest could have used them in some kind of ritual curse to try and fuck me up somehow. I don't believe in that, so don't worry about it. They could have sold them. They could have claimed that they are the ones that painted them. Anything could have happened to them. But in order for me to move on and accept that those paintings are gone forever, I decided to start remaking them digitally and claim the new ones as mine, so that no one else can steal my art ever again. Now, the story of this painting in particular, Ballerinas Have Fins That You'll Never Find, is that while I was living with these two exes, one of them was ignoring me completely while the other abused the literal hell out of me, emotionally and mentally. He gaslighted me. He would ask me questions that he knew that I wouldn't know, just to mock me and call me stupid. At the time I was pagan, and he told me that my chosen goddess hated me just as much as he did. He told me that I was worthless and that I would never amount to anything. He just really hurt me on a daily basis, to the point where I would throw up every day just from the anxiety of having to face him throughout my day, just doing chores and stuff, because most of my paycheck when I was working down there, all of my paycheck went into his bank account, and I wasn't allowed to touch it. And so finally, when I broke down at work one day and my manager was like, there's something wrong with you mentally, you need to go to therapy, we can't have you in the store anymore because you're scaring customers, he stopped giving me rides, and I couldn't find another job. So after that, he demanded that I do something around the house, so I started doing everything for him, like chores and everything. And the only time I had to myself, I was basically Cinderella, so the only time I had to myself was at night after he went to bed. And I used that to write and dream my novel and edit it, and I also painted sometimes. This was one of the, I'm sorry, I'm shaking because I haven't told this full story to anyone. I'm sorry. This was one of the paintings that I painted at the time, and I was listening to Tori Amos' song Spark on repeat, because when I get upset, repeating songs comforts me, and that is a very dark, sad song. I believe it is about one of her miscarriages, but the line, ballerinas have fins that you'll never find, really stuck out to me because I was drowning, and I've been obsessed with mermaids my whole life, and so it made me believe that even though I was drowning, I could reach the surface if I tried hard enough, and I could get out of the situation. I could survive. So I painted a ballerina falling through the sky, but also the top of the sky is water, so she's like more internally the sky is the ocean, and she's just falling between the two forever, but she has a smile on her face because she knows that if she keeps trying, if she keeps holding her breath, she will eventually reach the surface, despite how impossible that might seem to her. She believes in herself, and she believes in her strength enough, and that's all that she needs. That's all that she needs to live on. Ooh, that was rougher than I thought. If you noticed a few minutes ago, I erased the ribbons coming off of her ballet slippers. That is because while I was redoing this digitally, I realized that I liked the dichotomy of how loose and wild her hair is compared to how neat and trim her ballet slippers are. So I changed that little aspect of it. I have very distinct memories of doing glitter and crazy designs in the strands of her hair that almost look like dreadlocks. I'm not sure if they are dreadlocks. I don't even know. But this time I decided to just make them look like spikes with like sharpened edges on them, because I thought giving her some kind of weapon that tied back into her femininity would be pretty badass, because one of the things that the exes used to do was they would mock me for saying that I was two-spirit, or gender fluid, as some people would like to call it, because they said that I was a man and that I needed to act like one, and all kinds of very man-up, toxic masculinity kind of things, especially when I expressed any interest in feminine things like ballerinas or mermaids, or feminine colors, like my favorite color is hot pink. Anything that was feminine in any way would result in me getting yelled at and cussed out. If you noticed, I did two of the strands as twisty, wrapped around each other, the pink and the blue. I'm not sure why I did that. It is different from the original, but it just kind of happened while I was coloring everything. Why is she naked? At the time, I wasn't quite sure why I painted her naked, but now I think it's because I felt so vulnerable, so naked, so unshielded, so unarmored, so weak and powerless at the time that I was painting it. I kept her naked because I'm gay, but I do think that every body is beautiful, and I do find the feminine figure to be beautiful as well, and I thought that it just added something to the piece that I could not replace if I chose to undo it. These spikes or strands or tentacle-like dreadlock almost pieces of hair already look very different from the original painting. And the reason why the original painting that I'm tracing over right now is so blurry is because it is not a scan. It is a literal photograph that I had to crop out of another photograph to get it. That is all I have left of my old paintings, is just photographs that they happen to be in. And I only have like 3 or 4 of those photographs, compared to like 30, 40, 50 huge paintings that I worked incredibly hard on that are probably lost forever, because I don't want to have to go through talking to these people to get a hold of them again. So I'm just recreating them on my terms to sort of own them again. I did have a lot of these paintings for sale on an Etsy store that I was a part of at one point, as well as in person at pagan festivals that I went to, and while I was in Salem, Massachusetts. This is where Salem was where all of this happened at. And no one paid attention to me. The only thing they bought was little scrying boards that I had made. Like, it's always something that's very curious to me, because I spent like 5 minutes painting and decorating these scrying boards, but I had spent like 3-4 hours each on my paintings, but no one wanted to look at my paintings. They just wanted to look at the scrying boards and the little witch hat figurines that I have made and painted out of clay. It's always the things, and I noticed this on TikTok videos as well, it's always the things that I don't put much effort into that gets the most traction. I've noticed throughout my life, and the things that I put so much passion and work into, no one sees and no one understands. I think they just think that it's weird and they don't get it, but it means a lot to me, and I guess that's really all that matters. Now we are on the background, and the background in this case is just as important as the ballerina. A lot of my art, I just make like character art and then forego the background and make it like a PNG of a character that I've come up with, whether it's for a novel or just a sexy unicorn man that I make on the fly. However, in this piece, I don't think that you can have the ballerina without the strange realm of ocean and sky that she is eternally falling into. Because the story isn't complete without what she's going through. She is not the story herself. What she is going through makes her strong. It makes her who she is. So, I recreated the background as best as I could with the little that I know about digital art. But I think that it came out beautiful, and I am incredibly proud of it. Thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe, but honestly, I appreciate just a view. The next painting I will be doing is a little risque. It is a very sensual scene between an FBI agent and an alien. I never said all my art was magical and pretty. Some of it's lewd and strange, but I really hope you guys like this video, and I'll catch you guys next time. Bye.